Hey oil and soil fans, we're coming to you from our home gym this morning. We're going to do a quick video on our cold tub. We hope you enjoy it. So a quick scan around our home gym here. My wife and I have built this probably over the last 3 years since we moved in. We've got quite a bit of equipment in here now, one of which we're going to talk about a little bit later, cold tub. But you know, we started using this immediately once we moved into the home, and now we've got Louise, who's 13. She's getting into running. She's starting to use it, and William, who thinks he's going to be an NFL superstar, is starting to pump a little iron. But today, like I said, we're going to talk about our cold tub. So we're excited to get into this video and tell you guys a little bit more about why we like our cold tub and why we have chosen this brand. Talking a little bit about a cold tub, my wife and I have looked at a lot of different recovery methods from doing different sports activities, especially as we've gotten a little bit older. Our bodies don't recover quite as quickly, and we can get a lot of information from doing things like long runs. My wife has done marathons and half marathons, or lifting weights in a CrossFit style format that's very strenuous on the body. And so, like I said, we started this about a year and a half ago. We invested initially in a much more expensive cold tub, and we spent, I think, well over $1,000 to get it set up. We had put it outside, and it really wasn't working for us. It was outside, it was in a bad location, sort of hard to get to. It was always dirty. It was sitting in our garage floor and got grimy and dusty and dirty. And so I sold that probably 5 to 6 months ago. But I continue to have sports injuries, and I continue to have the urge to get back into using a cold plunge. And essentially what it does is it gives your body a bit of a boost. They haven't necessarily proven, and I don't tend to make any medical claims here. They haven't proven that there's any defined medical benefits from this. But I can tell you subjectively from using it very frequently, I'm trying to do it every day if I can, that I feel less stress. I feel less inflammation in my body. I have more energy throughout the day. And it helps me fight off cravings for food or alcohol or other things that might be vices in my life that stop me from being at the target weight I want to be at. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this tub that I found on Amazon and I've used for about a month and a half now, and I've been super pleased with the results. Alright, so this is our tub. We got it off of Amazon. It's a Chinese manufactured brand. So if you have any issues about buying American versus Chinese, this probably isn't the tub for you. But it's a 129 gallon tub. It's 51 inches long, and it's fairly deep. So it's a little bit bigger than your typical ice barrel. I bought this tub because I found it for right around $200 on Amazon, which is significantly lower than what you can find for most tubs. Being 51 inches, it is on the shorter side, but I can tell you I'm about 5'11", and I fit in it very, very comfortably all the way up to my shoulders when I bend my knees. So no issues there. I was concerned a little bit about potentially the quality of the side walls. Would it hold up? Could you stand on it like my previous one could? You absolutely can. It comes with a pump and a repair kit, which most of these things do. There's a fitting down here where you can fill it up, and then it's got brass fittings for the in and out water from the chiller. These are not the hoses it came with. It came with much cheaper black 1/2-inch line. I actually did some work to replace all the lines with PEX tubing. I've done some plumbing work in the past at home, and that was pretty easy. And then I spent about $10 on insulation from Home Depot to try to keep the water cool as it moved through the lines. I spend about 2 to 3 minutes a day in this tub. That's what most people recommend as you start to get over that and start to spend more than 15 or 20 minutes in it a week. Cold tub can have potentially detrimental benefits. It's got a top. The top stays on to try to keep all the cool in, and we've been pretty happy with it maintaining the temp on a day-to-day basis. The other piece of equipment that I bought is the chiller. So this chiller is rated to cool down to 38 degrees. We keep it on about 50 degrees, and it has held very well since we purchased it. The chiller came with a small pump and a filter here on the side, and we change that every week. The chiller also, most of these you'll find are $300 or more. And as you get into higher capacity chillers that can go down to 32 degrees or close to 32 degrees, you'll find those in the $300 to $600-700 range. So this one was about $200. I was concerned, obviously skeptical, was worried it might leak, worried it might not chill. But a month in, like I said, no leaks. It chills exceptionally well. We'll do a water test here in a second on the water, and I'll show you. I've got this chiller set to 50 degrees right now, I think. Yeah, so it's set at 50 degrees, and I'm pretty confident when we do the water test, it's going to be right at the 50 degree mark or a little bit lower. So we're back. We got our ThermaPen here. You can see it's reading 70.7 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And we're going to put this in the water and do a quick test. So pretty spot on. We've got our chiller set at 50 degrees. The water is reading 49.6 after being in there for a few seconds. So pretty happy with the performance here for $200. Can't say that I would complain at all about the quality of the chiller. And again, it circulates. It's a cold tub. It'll make you as cold as some of the more expensive tubs out there, but a lot less expensive price. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. Until next time, like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.